Hello, welcome to part 2 of this giant haul. It's looking like it might be 3 parts, we'll see. Let's go ahead and jump back in. If you haven't seen part 1, I recommend going there to kind of get the backstory of this massive amount of stuff and how I'm feeling about it. Also wearing gloves because, long story short, I have hair dye on my hands and I don't want it to transfer onto items. But let's go ahead and jump in. Also, I did forget to mention, generally at our Goodwills, it used to be $4.99 per item for the most part. There are exceptions to certain things that I usually don't buy. However, they recently, as a whole, it seems like the entire city has gone up to $5.29 as the minimum price. So that's kind of the base price that we're talking about in these videos. But this is the brand Live a Little, I think. L-A-L, Live a Little. I'll show you the tag. The comps there weren't that many, honestly, to go off of. However, based on the styles that were doing well, I think this will do great. I think there were literally like 3 linen items in the comps sold. So we're looking at 50% linen, 50% cotton, kind of like a business jacket, blazer type thing. And let's see, I don't see any discoloration or anything. Once again, I'm always hopeful when it comes to these white pieces. And it has this metallic weaving into it as well. So it's metallic, I'd say a linen blend. I might mention the metallic, breathable, business casual, minimalist, basics, staple piece. Those are all words you could use. You could even do capsule wardrobe with this. I don't know if I'd go into log and look because this is going more for business casual. But it kind of is a little shapeless, but that would be a push. I always mention woven, like I said, breathable. So I'm not going to use like vacation and all that on this kind of item because this is probably more targeted towards someone working. So we're going to skip those words even though they fit, but you could also put boho. Some people like pieces that have like a boho touch to them, and it's also classic. Classic is more fitting than boho. Those are all words you could use. So I'm going to target it more towards a clean cut business casual look. This does not have wooden buttons, but a lot of times on bohemian type pieces, you will notice like wooden or ornate buttons. I always take zoomed up pictures and mention the buttons if that's possible. Wooden buttons seem to be a selling point. I've sold some not so great brands where I've mentioned the wooden buttons and I feel like that's what sells it. Or ornate buttons, whatever it might be, but this is just some regular buttons on this one. This is a Y2K piece, and I mean that by date, not by style. It truly is a, let me see here, when it was made. Yeah, so May of 2000, vintage Y2K at its finest. And this was really during like the heat of it. I remember the late 90s and the early thousands was definitely all these trends you see. That's when these were really cool. So here's the tag for that time frame. And as you can see also, they kept all the info up here, not down in the side tag. There is no side tag. It's all up here. So this is literally from May of 2000. It's a really nice like sundress style, embroidered. It's kind of like an abstract floral embroidery. The embroidery has some mistakes, but with vintage, that's expected. I do notate that. And I make sure people wear it like it's vintage. Vintage a lot of times has flaws. Are you cotton? You feel really good. 100% cotton as well, woven as well. So we're gonna go for that kind of look. This reminds me of, would I say that? Who does this remind me of? This is a little more up the alley of like Mary-Kate and Ashley style, I think. So we're not gonna go for like the Y2K boho. We're gonna go for more like the polished, preppy, classic looks. So that's kind of the keywords we're gonna use. So we're gonna use the woven, breathable, embroidered, vintage Y2K, classic, preppy. That's probably the type of words I'm going to use to describe this. That's where I think I'm heading with that one. What are you? Oh, this is a great one. I'm sad I had to put the other one back. The other one had damage. That was too far gone. But this is the brand Pact, which I've talked about only a tiny bit on my channel. Here's the tag. I haven't seen much variation from this. I could be wrong, but I feel like that's always the tag I find. Once again, I'm thinking of keeping it. It's so pretty. Very comfy looking. I might actually keep this. So Pact is a brand that focuses on using more sustainable materials. I've seen people mention this brand when they say they're going away from plastic material clothing and going into more holistic options. So Pact is one of those brands that always gets brought up for that. Pact does make quality pieces. I often see more plain pieces than decorative. This is the most decorative Pact I've seen myself. Yeah, so it's just a nice stretchy sundress, and it's a cotton It feels like a cotton spandexy mix. Let's see. Organic cotton, 21% recycled polyester, and elastane. So I think that's interesting. I think people have a misconception that they don't use polyester, which clearly they do. I'm gonna do more research on this brand. I'm always very interested in it. But yeah, it's a sundress with stretch floral. The floral is almost a retro-y vibe. I don't know if that's what I would use, but it kind of goes that way. We have some mixed pattern as well, as that's a keyword to use. So stretch, mixed pattern, floral stripes, V-neck, if you want to use that, sundress. You could go off of the keywords people look for, like sustainable, things like that if you want. But this makes me think more like of a fun outing on the weekend. So I'm going to use more playful words that pertain to that. Casual, versatile. Those kind of words are what I'm going to use for this if I don't keep it. Like I said, I might keep it for my trip coming up and then sell it. This is vintage too, I believe. Let me see here some information. Yes, we are talking about Q4 of 1999 vintage Old Navy overalls. There's the tag. That's what it looks like for 99, and even has like the Old Navy, the old Navy like embroidered logo information here. It has 3 side buttons. Does it have stretch? There's no stretch to this. This must be 100%, whatever it is. Yeah, 100% cotton. It has like the kangaroo. Is this a full kangaroo? No, it's not a full kangaroo, but it looks like one. Well, on top it is. It has like 3 or 4 pockets alone up here. It's like 1, 2, 3, and this little pocket here, 4. Lots of pockets on this. I did find a flaw on the leg somewhere right here. But it looks like a straight leg. Oh, but what I was trying to tell you guys is somebody told me you take the hem and you fold it over to about where the knee is. And if it is the same, it is a straight leg. If it is slightly wider, it is a boot. So if you see, this is a straight leg. Where did I learn that? Somebody in the Resellers Edge University. I'll link it down below. So yeah, we have just some vintage overalls that will sell themselves, even with the flaws. We're gonna do vintage Old Navy overalls, denim, straight leg. Those are the for sure words, but this is an easy item to do keywords for. So those are the general ones that I'm going to use beyond filling it up with other things to meet that. It is women's as well. What do we have next? Oh, this one is a risky one, but that's okay because I can fit it if it doesn't go well. Though it is quite long. This is like a tall size actually. I would have to get it hemmed. Okay. So this is an aesthetic and style piece, not a brand piece. Very much a maxi dress. This is super long, guys. This should say tall, but it doesn't. But I got it because it fits the like that cottagecore smocked look. The brand is nothing. And it's just a really nice like boho-y cottagecore maxi dress, which are all the keywords I would use. This is kind of chambray-ish. That's probably a stretch. I don't think I can use chambray. It has like a tie-dye effect to it. I might use that in the keywords. And then the sleeves are kind of like, they're kind of like butterfly sleeves, flutter sleeves. So that's pretty self-explanatory. Those are the keywords I would use for that. I'm not expecting a lot of money for this, just hopefully around 25, 20 bucks for that. Okay, next, this is a very much an aesthetic piece as well. Once I figure out which way it goes. This is a vintage Alex Eveningwear. There's the tag. Size 14. It has a paper tag made USA. The top is this really nice metallic, I don't know what to call that. It's slightly like fleur-de-lis, but it's not. But I think you get the idea. Let's see if you can see I don't know if I can get it to reflect well enough to see it, but it's a really cool design. Is that pearlescent or iridescent? I have to look up which word it is, but it's where it shifts colors depending on the lighting between like a purple and a gold. Really pretty. I think that that's iridescent. Is it pearlescent? I'm getting the words mixed up off the top of my head. I'll have to look it up. It is full length, and this is great for someone looking to wear something for like a prom or a homecoming type thing, maybe even a wedding, some kind of cocktail event, anything like that. That's what this would go for. I don't know if I would call it. It's not chiffon. A lot of vintage pieces have this feel, and I don't want to explain it, but the bottom is more like it's almost a satin. Almost. Yeah, it's an interesting piece. That's where I've gotten so far with this. I don't know what else I'll put, but clearly it's like a formal evening wear, cocktail attire, vintage piece that will get picked up for something along the lines of that. This is vintage. I got so much vintage on this trip. This is vintage Victoria's Secret. Right there is the tag. Gold label, which I understand used to have way more value to it. Not as much anymore, but I know that this piece will do great. It's an emerald green, jewel tone. I don't know if I would call it satin. Kind of satiny robe. And then it has like jewels on the cuffs, at least one giant emerald jewel. Right? And this is like a, it's not the velour or velvet, it's like a terry cloth, like a soft terry cloth on the trim. That's that. Very cool piece. I might use the word satin. That might be a push. I need to look up the guidelines for satin to see if I'm going to call it that. It almost looks like a wallpaper design, like up close if you look. So there might be a pattern name for that, and I'll have to look it up. It does have flowers in it, so I could say floral. But we're definitely going to go with vintage gold label Victoria's Secret robe, emerald green, floral. We'll say something about like ornate gem cuffs or cuffs with ornate gems, something along the lines of that. That's going to definitely fill up the maximum characters, but beyond that, when we get down into the description box, we're going to use like glam, glamorous, words like that. Oh, I just realized that the belt has fringe on it too. That's the end of the belt. Well, against me you can't see it, but yeah, it has like a fringe. Okay, this one. This is, what is that brand called? Is it called Saturday through Sunday? Oh, it's that old Anthropology brand. I'll have to look up what it's called again, but Saturdays, Sundays, after Saturday through Sunday. I don't remember. It's something along the lines of that. If you remember, let me know in the comments. It's a size extra large, really nice cardigan. It has fringe on the bottom. Fringe is always a great keyword. It's so super soft, very soft. It almost looks reversible, but it's not. Are there pockets? Nope, there's no pockets. So for this, we're going, I think it is Anthropology, isn't it? We'll find the brand name and probably use Anthropology. Open cardigan. It's not exactly a waterfall. We'll mention the fringe, the stripes. We'll also use probably like casual, versatile, comfy. Those are all words I can use for these basic type of pieces. Okay, next is one I think is so ugly, but it still sells. And that's an Ed Hardy board short. Pretty self-explanatory. Ed Hardy has a very specific following. I've seen the comps for these. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think it's in the 30s. Surf or die is what it says on the back. This brand is so obnoxious to me, but somebody out there loves it. So, yep, just some good old Ed Hardy. I'm gonna look up if there's any specific words that go with this, but I don't think there really are. I think I would mention obviously the skull, because skulls sell. Ed Hardy, maybe talk about how it's wearable art. I don't know. I'll have to look up the comps and see what keywords are repeating in the solds. Okay, so this next one, I have been made aware Barbie branded items are kind of getting a hit for trademark type things. So I might not list this on eBay and only on Poshmark, because it seems to be, the person is telling me that it seems to be eBay is where the hits are happening. But this is actual Barbie brand. See, I think, would I get in trouble for that? It's actual Barbie brand. I don't know. I'd have to either play it safe or really do my research. But these are from the movie, if you guys remember. And probably from an original Barbie at some point, which I'm not placing in my head which Barbie would wear this. But it's those pants they wore when they went roller skating. Did I show you that? I think I did. Actual Barbie brand. Size medium. So obviously color block, colorful, mixed pattern, because it kind of is a mixed pattern. Jogger, colorful, Barbie core, all those kind of things is what you would put on that. Okay, next is Sweaty Betty, which funny enough, I've passed this brand so many times and I've gone, I swear I'm supposed to know that brand. And then I don't comp it and I walk past it. And then I figured out later, yeah, you should be comping Sweaty Betty. So don't be me. If you have that feeling, comp it. Don't be lazy, because yeah, for some reason I just kept skipping it. But yeah, Sweaty Betty, as you can see there. This is the all day cropped length leggings. And these are the cropped ones. They don't do as well as the full length, but it's still an option. These look hella tiny. They're a size 6. They look small, but they are stretchy. They're very stretchy. So it's probably going to be your everyday athletic athleisure type keywords for this, obviously. I already have a comp that I've seen, and I'll just look at that and see what helped to sell to decide my keywords. Next is a fun one that I'm so excited I found because it's something that is not made in my state. I know this is more of a like Utah thing, and that's Albon. So Albon is an athletic and swimwear line, I believe. I don't know if they do anything beyond that. I know they do athletic and swimwear. And these joggers here are nice quality joggers. Even for being a small, the comps were in the 40s, I believe. Once again, we're just gonna obviously use Albon. Albon has a following, so somebody looking for them will find them. So Albon, joggers, athletic, athleisure. I'm gonna look at the other comp, the other sold comps to see really what keywords to use, because once again, this is not a brand I've been able to sell yet, so I don't have too much experience or just like considerable factors as keywords necessarily. So yeah, I'm gonna do my research. I took my gloves off and I forgot. Okay, it looks like a lot of the dye actually came off. I think I got it all off finally, except for in my nails. Oh, I'm so afraid of touching stuff. Next we have a Lily Pulitzer, but this is a kid's Lily Pulitzer. I almost kept it because it's my daughter's size, but she said, can you make money off that? I said, yeah, and she said, then sell it. So she's giving up this Lily Pulitzer. She doesn't really like dresses anyways. It's so gorgeous. Here's the tag. So this is a kid's Lily Pulitzer size 7 dress. And it sells itself, guys. Lily Pulitzer sells itself, even in the kids' sizes. So we're just gonna go with the words we know work. Lily Pulitzer is #1. And then beyond that, we're gonna talk about the pattern. Sometimes you can look up a style, sometimes the style does matter. So I might look up the style as a deciding factor. It is embroidered as well. Coastal, beachy, vacation, southern, those are all words that work for this brand. But #1 with Lily Pulitzer is look up the style and then check the comps, because there's a good chance that you will find a title that's valuable to use based off its style name. All right, so that's the end of this haul. Make sure you hit the bell for notifications for when the next part of this comes out, because it's gonna be a part probably 3 series, because there's just so much stuff. So yeah, I'll see you in another video. Feel free to click up here and watch another one.